Well, let's make it a celebration. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just for a moment, but putting that out there that people knows is this is justice for him.
Yes.
You know.
Because the memory is still living on.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So now that we are locked in, I don't want to get too into it because I want to talk to you about this on the show. So let me just introduce everything. I have so many names to call you. Welcome to the Trap Bootcamp Podcast, you guys. Today is a very special day because I felt like it was just a time for just prayer and special types of prayer, all types of prayer, and someone came to my heart, and that was Miss Irka Mateo. Abuela Irka. She is a holistic healing world musician from the Dominican Republic, Afro-Colombian music. Is that what you call it?
Dominican.
Afro-Dominican. And her soul and she was incubated in Spain, France, Brazil, Canada, and a little in the US, but this is the most powerful woman I've met in such a tiny little package. My goodness. Please welcome Irka Mateo. Let me say that correctly. Queen Irka Mateo. She is just a blessing just as a person. We met back in the day at the Ford Amphitheater, but maybe a little bit before that too, I think at one of the meetings. But at the Ford Amphitheater, we had a show a few years back, and I was able to witness her spirit and her energy just entering the room was amazing with her leading the circle, and I'm definitely going to post that energy on my page. And she is just a powerful spirit. The words and the energy just speaks through her. She I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly, Irka. Can you say what it's called? Because the Taino Spirituality, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay. So she is very, 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 very spiritual, and we are going to get into that. I don't want to be the one to say what she does. You just need to experience this. And today we are just going to take a new direction and just ask for some healing for the world, because I called her the other day and I was just distraught, like with full anxiety about what's just going on in the media. And I have had to distance myself from the media, and I contacted her because I just went to her page and her spirit and energy spoke to me, and something said to call her and ask her to pray. And so today we're going to learn a lot about her, but we're also just going to take some time to get a shamanic spiritual session going and really, really offer up some really good energy to the world, because I feel like that's what I can do. My goal was always to be healing for my people, but for my whole community, interior and exterior healing, I want to bring that to you in so many different forms. And so let me just stop talking and welcome Miss Irka Mateo.
Thank you so much, Oracle. When you called me, it was such a joy for me that we got together again, talking and about everything, and joining our two souls too. From the moment that we met, it has been so beautiful. Yes, our energies, to share our energies and the sisterhood.
Yes. I feel like I remember I wanted to talk about that night. She was out here and I was like, oh, we need to hang out. And we hung out and we were driving, and everybody on this show already knows I am a cannabis consumer. So Irka was in the car and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask her if she smoked weed. I'm like, Irka, do you mind if I smoke weed? You were like, no, I was gonna ask you. And after that, we had the time of our lives, and that was also the night that I met one of our former guests and trap mates, Miss Azul. So she was also on the show already, and she was able to offer up some really good energy for the people. And so I wanted to definitely bring somebody that compliments, and you just kind of have such a magnetic energy that I could feel it through your Instagram. So I just wanted you to know that, girl. I'm glad I contacted you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, this was the right time to reconnect.
It really was, because I feel like it's so much like the anxiety that I had been feeling was, I really found out what it was too, girl. Let me be honest with you. I'm finding out that I'm really going through perimenopausal. So my hormones are extremely delicate. Yeah. I'm crying at the drop of a hat. Anything is flustering me. I got in a car accident the other day, girl. On Tuesday, I got in a car accident. It wasn't my fault though, but I got injured, but I'm okay. I'm tough, and I thank God I work out because I was able to pad myself, you know what I mean? But man, I just had I'm feeling a lot lately, and I needed to kind of cut off the energy of Instagram and seeing all these terrible things that are happening, and your energy was such a magnet to me. So I wanted to get into that and ask you the gifts that you have. When did you realize that was going to be a part of your life's journey?
Since I was very little, I was very compassionate with the animals and with children. So I knew that there was something there that was going to be part of me, because I was tending, and also to the people who are underserved. And,
yes.
I remember, when I was like 9 years old, and in our neighborhood, there were these little boys that were shoe shiners, and they will come, house to house. That was a long time ago. That was 50 years ago, because now
wow.
I'm 51 now.
You look amazing, girl. Oh, wow.
Thank you. So, these boys were knocking door to door, and so I used to sit down with this one, and we became friends. We were almost the same age, and then he came with another friends, and I said, and when they came, I used to prepare breakfast for them, because I know that they were there. They have told me that they didn't have anything to eat, and so I was waiting. It was every Saturday they came, and then I made friends with a bunch of them. So I had like 6, 7 boys friends, 9 years old, who will come, and I will be waiting for them, and I will prepare breakfast for all of us. We will eat in the garden.
You're a nurturer. Yes.
In the garden, and it was amazing. They were my friends, and people, they say, well, here the Irka's friends are here. They would, call me in the house. My mother, Irka, your friends are here. So, I would just go out and greet them and say, okay, I'm coming now. Let me go and prepare the breakfast. So I will prepare milk and chocolate and sandwiches for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. And we will have a morning picnic, So that was the beginning. Then later, when I was in my 12 or 13, I organized like this group of domestic workers, because they were very bad treated in the houses.
Yeah.
And there were these women that is still there. It's still happening. And they will leave their kids, in the countryside, and come to work to the houses of the people, because they were so poor, and they didn't have any education. So I organized this group also of domestic workers. I was like,
oh wow,
I don't know, And so, I was letting them know that they did have the right to be well treated and this and that. So,
A revolutionary. Look at you.
you know, so we will meet in the afternoons after they finish working, and we will have all these meetings, and I will talk to them and become friends. So all these women, these domestic workers, um, I was teaching them to write and also read.
Wow.
So this
You just knew it.
yes, it was since I was very, very, very little.
Were you also like singing? Were you a musician, or was that something that you acquired after time? Because you know what I also noticed? I found you used to be a gymnast.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. How does that translate now into what you're doing? How did you go from that, like being a gymnast, to this?
Oh my God! Because I had a lot of training. I was part of the pre-selection, national selection of my country. This was serious.
Wow.
So I was not even living in my house after 13, 14, something like that. And we were seriously trained, and they will take us to school, and then from the school they will take us to the Olympic villas to eat, and go to the gym to be trained till 6. I don't know, like 5 hours a day, a lot.
That's one thing that you and I have in common. I used to be a trainer, a gymnastic trainer. It was at the YMCA, but we used to have to identify the young kids and have like the gymnastic USA programs come and say, oh, well, this kid right here is probably somebody that you want to talk to, their family, and just identifying the stature and the muscular build of the small children that kind of like got it fast. And I did that for 6 years.
Oh my God, that's amazing that we have in common. Because it's
that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's not that common. It's rare to find gymnasts.
I know. I was not a gymnast. Yeah. I worked for the company, and then whenever I do something, I'm always the person that's like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna learn it really, really good. So I really started to study it because some of the kids became really good, and I didn't want to be that boring instructor that when they came to my class, they weren't really learning anything. So I really researched it, and each one of the kids, I really taught them a lot of stuff at the YMCA for quite some time, but it was just not really what I wanted to do with my career. I wanted to work with adults. So
yeah. That experience gave me a lot of physical strength and mental strength because of
for sure.
So that and also a lot of stamina. I can sing for hours.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired because of my training. So I'm an athlete. So singing or playing something, in the times when I used to play some percussion instruments or dancing, I had a lot of energy because of that training. So this has been very important in my career. This training that I had as an athlete, because it allowed me to do many things on stage and rehearsing and also with this research work that I did, going to the countryside and the mountains and the mules and climbing mountains and going down and so it has been a very important part of my life. Yes.
Wow. And then, do you ever have to physically, not physically, mentally take yourself back to that situation to kind of get through certain things? Because I know being identified in the USA, not in the USA, but in an Olympic situation, it's very, very trying, especially at that young of an age. It's very demanding. I know how demanding it is. And so I know that there's things that they implement, and there are directives that they implement that stick with you forever, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. The discipline,
Yes.
I am very disciplined.
Very.
Oh, yeah.